What's good, people? How are we doing? We are back again. Welcome back to True Gunners TV for the first preview of the season. The Premier League is back, guys. Come on. All of this boring pre-season, all this crap's over and done with now. It's time to get down to the real business. Of course, Arsenal taking on Nottingham Forest on Saturday in their opening fixture. Should be a good game. Should be a good game. I have brought my man Northside with us to do the preview, of course. And yeah, we're going to get into it. We're going to talk about Arsenal versus Nottingham Forest, what we expect from Arsenal this season. The new signing, of course, David Raya. We'll be talking about that. And also, we'll be talking a little bit about Nottingham Forest. You know, do we think they'll stay in the league this season? Do we think they'll struggle? Also, you know, this is a fixture that was played late on in the season, last season. Of course, Arsenal lost that. Could there be a repeat? Could there be a repeat? But before we get into all of that, you know the score, guys. Make sure you're hitting that like button. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel if you are new as well, and hit that notification bell. And of course, head over to Northside's channel and make sure you follow him as well, because there's not many Arsenal fans that talk facts. A lot of Arsenal fans talk bollocks. We try not to. We try to bring the facts to this. So it's nice that you guys, following along with this. But let's start with Northside. How are you, bro?
I'm good, bro. I'm here, man. I'm here. Yeah, everything's good. No complaints. I'm looking forward to this game. Yeah, man. I just want the season to start, bro. I want football to be back.
Too right, bro. Like, we've been waiting for this for I don't know how long. Like, all this boring like build up and the pre-season and you know the signings and that. It's nice to get excited about signings, but Arsenal kind of PR'd their way through some of these signings, and you know the whole Declan Rice thing. Couldn't really get too excited about it. You'll have to excuse the noise in the background. My neighbour's all of a sudden decided that he's going to cut his grass. What a wallad. But look, yeah, you know, there's not much to be excited about. Of course, you know, before we even get into the Nottingham Forest game, we've got to talk about the Community Shield game against Manchester City. I want to get your thoughts and feelings on it, my bro, because there's a lot of Arsenal fans that are coming out of this with massive confidence, you know. I've heard a lot of people talking about how we're the favourites to win the league now. I had to do a video on it the other day, and people were thinking that I was being serious, but you know me, Northside, I'm a sarcastic guy. But Arsenal beating Manchester City in the Community Shield, what did you make of it?
Once again, we can't get the win in 90 minutes. We didn't get the win in 90 minutes against Man United. We didn't get the win in 90 minutes against Monaco, and we couldn't do it against Man City. And for me, there's a lot of question marks on this team. Defensively, I think we looked very good until this manager, for no apparent reason, takes off Timber and puts on Zinchenko. For no apparent, I mean, not Zinchenko, sorry, Tierney. For no apparent reason, especially when Tierney hasn't even had that many minutes. You know, with footballers, pre-season, you're supposed to be, you know, gaining momentum, starting to get a rhythm to your game, getting back in shape, getting in the rhythm of things. Tierney hasn't really had the minutes, so I didn't understand chucking him in a game like that. Kind of cold. I didn't really understand that. Ultimately, when you don't have Jesus up front, you see that, you know, Saka drops levels, Martinelli drops levels, and Havertz wasn't good enough. I see a lot of this fan base trying to overgas what Havertz was doing. That didn't do nothing. You know, what annoys me with Arsenal fans is they pick up the bare minimum, holding up the ball, passing the ball. I expect that. But ultimately, if you're playing a false nine or you're playing whatever position, you're playing as a striker, your main job is to score. And he didn't score. And he had chances where he could have put the ball in the back of the net, and he didn't. And there was times where he was getting roughed off the ball. There's times where his link-up play wasn't amazing. It was very basic. He's not very energetic when he's running as well. He kind of runs like he's a bit lazy, that he can't really be bothered. So I think a lot of Arsenal fans are grappling at straws, trying to overgas this guy, because Arteta, they just want to back blindly everything Arteta does. I heard a lot of people saying, oh, if there's somebody that's going to get the most out of a player, it's Arteta. But these people will only name a select few players. You know, when you go down the list of players that he's inherited or players that he's bought, there's a long list of players that I can reel off that he's not got the best out of. He's not got the best out of Pepe. He's not got the best out of Lokonga, Marquinhos, Eddie Nketiah, Fabio Vieira, Rob Holding, El Nene, Cedric, Tomiyasu. All these players, yeah, some of them he bought, a lot of them he didn't buy, but at the same time, he's not getting the best out of them. So I don't know when this narrative started to be formed that, you know, he's amazing at turning a lot of players into world-class players. It gets a lot of praise for players that really and truly he didn't give them their break. He didn't bring Martinelli to the club. He didn't give Saka his debut. You know, so at the end of the day, these players were already balling even before he even got here. Ultimately, going forward, I didn't think it was good enough. Odegaard was completely not missing. You know, he's part of the attack. Our attack was a shambles. I think it was a disgrace. It only livened up once Trossard come on. And I've been saying that Trossard should be starting over Martinelli. No, it doesn't mean that Martinelli's trash. I just think that Trossard's the better player. He's got better technique. He's two-footed. He can score a better variety of goals. Martinelli's, it's easier to nullify him. And I'm not saying that Martinelli's bad, but Martinelli, more time, he's more effective if he's got space. When he doesn't have space, he doesn't really take on 2-3 man, put them on their ass and assist somebody. Do you know what I mean? He's more of a kick and run. And I've been watching him carefully, and I just think Trossard's less predictable. Any player, if you've ever played football, a player that is two-footed is less predictable. Martinelli's not like that. Trossard is like that. You don't know if he's going to take it with his left or his right. And he's got the skills, kind of like what we used to see from Pepe. But he's an upgrade on Pepe because on the final third, he actually makes better decisions. He's faster with his passing. He knows when to take a shot. He knows when to read somebody overlapping him on the left-hand side. He knows when a player's making a run and to find that player. But ultimately, I just think he's a more effective player. I don't understand why he can't be starting against Man City. I don't understand it. I mean, I think Trossard's had an excellent preseason. Why did he not start? You know, ultimately, we pushed them to penalties. It was a fluky goal. Like, let's be real, it was a deflection. You know, we wasn't ripping them apart going forward. Yes, there was a couple of opportunities. Ben White put it on the plate for Havertz, and he scuffed it. There was another chance where Havertz, the ball wasn't excellent. It was kind of coming behind him. I get it. But ultimately, bro, you need to put it in the back of the net. We paid 65 million for you. We didn't get you on a cheap, like 15 million, 20 million. So ultimately, you need to deliver. You know, I think Partey grew into the game. I think the first half, he was shocking. Second half, I think he grew into the game and got a lot better. Declan Rice needs to be encouraged more to go forward. Because I think in pre-season, we've seen the best out of him when he's pushed forward, kind of in the role that we had Xhaka in, where he was going forward and dictating play in the final third. I think that's when you see the best out of Declan Rice. And yeah, ultimately, it wasn't that great. When you look at our attack, all the praise is more to the defenders. But in the attacking sense, I haven't seen this manager change it up. Has he changed formation, the style of play? I know you got different personnel, but people are telling me pre-season's the time to experiment. Well, I want to see a different formation. I want to see different tactics. I want to see you experimenting as a manager. He's still making late substitutions, 60th minute, 70th minute, making changes when it's not working. These are all areas as a manager I want to see you improving. It's all good improving personnel, bringing Timber and bringing in Declan Rice, but you need to also improve as a manager because you have not won anything since the FA Cup. So I need to see improvements from you. I need to see that you can change it up, that you can play different. You know, if a team wants to nullify us in the way that we play, you've got a plan B. I'm yet to still see that because during preseason, I haven't seen any of that.
I couldn't agree more, to be fair. I mean, the only thing that I kind of slightly disagree with you on is I think Trossard should be playing instead of Havertz up front rather than Martinelli, for Martinelli. I think you keep Martinelli there, you keep Saka there, you put Trossard in the 9. I think that works a lot better. Like you said, left foot, right foot, he can do the Gabriel Jesus role a lot better than Nketiah, a lot better than Kai Havertz. Although, I mean, I would say for a 20-minute period or so in the first half, I thought Kai Havertz did actually hold the ball up reasonably well. But like you say, the difference between winning the big major honours and not winning the big major honours is having that person who's clinical in front of goal. He had 2 big opportunities to basically put the game out of sight. Well, not game out of sight, but put us 2-0 up in the first half. And he missed both of them. And that's why, you know, Kai Havertz doesn't suit that role. He never will suit that role. If that was Haaland, that's 2 goals. If that was Harry Kane, that's 2 goals. Even if that was Trossard, I think he scores both of them goals, to be honest with you. So I understand what you're saying, and the excitement around the whole Community Shield thing. I mean, for me, it's typical of the fan base. It really is, bro, because the fan base tend to get too overexcited about silly little minor things. Yes, we beat Manchester City. Yes, we can take the confidence into the new season that we can now beat Manchester City. However, like you say, it was on penalties. But either way, we now know that they are beatable. We can beat them. So, I take a little bit of confidence from that. But we don't play Manchester City week in, week out. We play other teams week in, week out. And if you go back to last season, yes, we lost the game against Man City, and that contributed towards us losing the league. But what actually lost us the league was the drop points at Anfield, the drop points at Southampton, the drop points at West Ham, the drop points at Nottingham Forest. These are the games that we need to be turning into wins. So, this whole Man City thing, can Arsenal get close? I believe we'll be up there again this season. I think we will. I don't see any reason why we shouldn't be Northside, to be honest with you, because we've got the squad. There's no excuses no more. And this is what's so great about the narrative that the fans are throwing out there, right? About us being favourites and all this, that and the other. They have backed themselves into a corner now. They have backed themselves so far into a corner that if it all goes tits up, they simply cannot come out and make excuses anymore. The manager has spent £240 million in this transfer window. 700 million overall since he's been here. We have, as many people have told me, strength in depth in every single position on the pitch. So there's no reason why we shouldn't win the league then, is there? Let's be honest. It's true. So, that's the expectation this season. Like I say, moving on from, the Community Shield type thing, let's talk about our new signing, David Raya. What do you make of the signing of David Raya?
Yeah, I like him. It's about time that Ramsdale has some competition, and props to the club. When the club actually do what I want them to do, that I give them praise. When they got Declan Rice, I wanted competition for Partey, and I wanted quality. I wanted quality being brought into this club instead of players like Lokonga, Fabi Vieira, Nuntavaji, etc. So when they do what I want them to do, I'm gonna big them up, and I think that's good. It's good that we're bringing in Raya. I think he's a very good goalkeeper. I don't think he's world class. Neither do I think Ramsdale's world class. But it provides, it makes Ramsdale be on his feet, and it forces him to be, fighting for his place. And when someone's fighting for their place, it brings out the best of them, And it's gonna bring the best out of the both of them. I think this is what I want to see all around the pitch. Not only rotation, but quality rotation. Because last season the narrative was, oh, we need versatility. Them filus da puta, we had a whole bench of flipping versatility. It's not about having players that are versatile and that can play this position, that position. What is the quality? Because last season on the bench, the quality, the versatility we had on the bench clearly was levels below the starting 11 team. And we can't be winning major honours having a bench like that. All the biggest teams have, they like this fan base like to say 2 squads. They have 2 squads. Why? They do that for a reason. So if their main striker gets injured, it's they got another striker on the bench that can do just as good. Until the other striker's back. If they got another attacking mid or defender or whatever, we were going with Kivior, Rob Holding, El Nene, Nketiah. These were our backups. So at the end of the day, I'm big up to the club for going out there and getting Raya. There's still more that needs to be done. I didn't expect them to go and get another goalkeeper, I'm going to be completely honest. Still not enough for us to win the league. But that is a move that I like. I like Timber. I like Declan Rice. And I do like Raya coming in. I definitely think that they are as good as our starting 11 players, if not better. And that is what we need if we're going to be serious about winning a major honour, which this manager should be. That should be the expectation for this manager.
I'm very much in agreement as well. The guys that watch the channel will know my thoughts on David Raya, my thoughts on Aaron Ramsdale. And look, I agree. I think, having that competition will do Ramsdale and Arsenal the world of good, because I think when Aaron Ramsdale came into Arsenal, that was when we saw the best of Aaron Ramsdale, because he was under pressure. He had the fan base on his back. Yeah, he was trying to take Leno's number one spot at the same time. And you actually see some very good performances and very consistent performances from Aaron Ramsdale when he first came in. So I think he's a player that's like kind of thrives under pressure. And I see his kind of like statement today when he was asked about Arsenal bringing in a new goalkeeper. And his whole attitude towards it was, bring it on, bring it on. There's no easy ride in football. I want the competition. I've been that goalkeeper that's been brought in for competition. So I like the way that he's dealing with it as well. Some people just kind of give up and go, oh, well, I clearly not wanted to be here. The manager might be having doubts about me, and it affects their game. Whereas Aaron Ramsdale seems to be different in that aspect. He's more of the, I need that competition to get the best out of me. So, yeah, I think David Raya is a very good signing by Arsenal. Jurrien Timber's been excellent as well in pre-season. If anything, he was the least talked about signing out of him, Havertz and Declan Rice. And he's been the best so far out of all three of them. So, yeah, Timber looks very good, makes us defensively strong. I actually genuinely think that Zinchenko has got some serious work to do to get back into this Arsenal team now. Because the one thing about Timber is, yes, he doesn't do that inverted role as well as what Zinchenko does when it comes to attacking, but he knows that his primary role is to defend. And that's why we looked so much better defensively against City. How many chances did Haaland have in that game, by the way? None. And that is credit to the way that we defended in that game. If you play Zinchenko in that game, I believe we wouldn't have won that game, simple as. We would have got exposed down that left-hand side. So there's various different combinations that the manager has available to him this season. And this is why it's all going to be on the manager for me, and how the manager copes and how good of a manager he is. Because, like I said, we've got the squad there now. I know people like myself and you, Northside, would like a striker, would like a winger. But apart from them two positions, everywhere else is pretty much covered. Like, if I had this squad to work with, I'd be loving life right now. And not only like last season did the injuries and the squad depth kind of cost us, but I also think the manager cost us because of his lack of substitutions, because of his lack of tactical nous, because of him playing Rob Holding when he could have played Kivior. So for me now, there are no more excuses. The manager is there. People think, right, this is how thick people are these days. People think the manager's just there to pick the team. The manager's there to win you points as well. The manager can win you points by making tactical and substitutions throughout the game. So, he has to show a bit of that this season. And like you said, so far, we haven't seen a plan B. We haven't seen him do anything different tactically. So it's going to be interesting to see how he copes this season, because he's going to have to do things a little bit differently if we want to beat Manchester City to the Premier League title. And not only that, Champions League football this season, there's going to be a lot more injuries this season. And I can bet my house on this, because we've got Champions League football during the week, Premier League football at the weekend. You cannot afford to rotate too many players. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see how that comes about. But of course, Northside, we have got an opening day fixture against Nottingham Forest, which I don't know about you, bro, but I feel that is very, very favourable for Arsenal, because for me, I just look at Nottingham Forest and I actually have them as one of the teams that will go down this season. So an opening day fixture at home to Nottingham Forest, there's no excuses. We should be slapping these about, shouldn't we, Northside?
Yeah. For me, I think we're winning. I think we're winning this game. I think we're winning it quite comfortable. when you look at them last season, I know it's hard with all the players that they brought in. It's hard to bed them all in. They've brought in Chris Wood this transfer window, Alanga from Man United, but for me, it's still not enough. It's still not enough. Obviously, when they brought in Lingard last season, they were expecting a lot more. They put him on big wages. Well,
Matt Turner is Matt Turner going to return and pick up the 3 points?
If I speak, I'm in big trouble. If I speak, I'm in big trouble. At the end of the day, when we got Matt Turner and we got Trusty, the fan base were gassing it up. Yes, for the future. I swear they've both been sold. It ain't been long, has it? These Finnish that put that talk absolute merda. I'm telling you, bro. And for me, I'm just looking at them. Even when you're looking at their stats from last season, Gibbs White had 8 assists. Brennan Johnson's their second highest assister last season. He got 3. Then you got Emmanuel Dennis at 2. You know, it's not that great. It's not that great, Nottingham Forest, in terms of assists last season. In terms of goals, Awani got 10 goals. Brennan Johnson got 8. Clearly, Brennan Johnson had a very good season. Gibbs White had 5. Danilo had 5. Emmanuel Dennis had 2. I just don't think they have enough. You know, ultimately, I just don't think they got the quality. And I just don't feel like they're as solid as a team. And I see them going down. I agree with you, man. I see them going down. I do give it up to their manager because they didn't say that they can't compete. He went out there and spent the money, and I hope that they stay up. Because I think teams like Nottingham Forest that go out there and actually spend the money to improve and put the money on the table, you know, and go out there and spend big money for the size of their club, they should be lauded up. You know, not teams like, you know, Wolves and teams like Brighton and all that, you know, yeah, they got good scouting and this and that, but ultimately they don't put the money down to push on to compete and really win something. I think Nottingham Forest, they showed that intention last season. And I can't knock them for that because I wish Arsenal did that. You know, we always have the excuse of, oh, we can't afford this, we can't afford that. Oh, that's too much out of our budget. You know what I mean? And it's all nonsense. You know, we've been smashing transfer records. We was even smashing transfer records even when we didn't have Champions League football. You know, bringing in Lacazette, bringing in Aubameyang. You know, those are transfer record signings, even without without Champions League football. You know, we're back in the Champions League. We haven't even kicked the ball back in the Champions League, and we already broke our transfer record, smashed it, and went and got Declan Rice. You know, so I do like seeing, you know, teams that, you know, go out there and the owners are like, you know what, I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. It may not work, but at least I'm going to have a go. And I'm going to try and get this club to, you know, where I want it to be. Nottingham Forest, you know, they've won the Champions League before. So, you know, big up to him. He wants to get the club back to that level. Will they get there? I don't really think so. I think some of the signings just haven't worked out, but they show the ambition. And in football these days, teams that try to show the ambition, a lot of times they're slagged off. And teams that, you know, are, you know, I don't even know how to put it. Teams that are, I don't even know how to put it. Teams that like Brighton, yeah, they're very good at scouting and they clearly have an amazing scouting system. But it gets to a point where when you get these gems, you need to push on to win something. But they'll sell their best assets and they're lauded up as amazing football clubs. You know, but I think clubs like Nottingham Forest should get a lot more praise because they're actually trying. Yeah, it didn't work out. But I told you what, being mediocre and not going out there and paying the money and trying to push your club on to win big things and spending the money, that hasn't worked out either. You know, Tottenham is a great example of that. Their manager, their ownership is always about, you know, not spending money and they've just gone down and down and down and down and down. Like they've not won anything for years. You know, so sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But I think football fans, all, you know, I'm sure most football fans just want to see their club do the best that they can to go out there, get the best players that they can afford, go out there and show intention and not just pocket money. A lot of these teams, they get big money. They, like Brighton, sell their best players, pocket the money and don't reinvest it. You know, it's not good enough. So listen, Nottingham Forest, I agree with you. I think they're going to get relegated. But ultimately, I like the fact that they've tried to have a go, bro. They've tried to have a go. And ultimately, if they do get relegated, they're still going to get the parachute payments. So it's not like they're going to get, you know, they're not going to go down and finish and fold up as a football club. You know, they still got the parachute payments. So big up to their owners for showing ambition. Not enough owners, you know, show ambition these days. A lot of them are just the plucky losers and happy with winning nothing.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. Definitely agree. We've got a comment here from Wagner says, let's not get too cocky. I can see Forest getting something from this game if we're not too careful. They held Manchester City and beat us at the back end of last season. That's true. Do you see any possibility that we could see a repeat of what happened at the end of last season? I know it was at their ground and not at the Emirates. Do you think we could see Forest maybe come and get something from Arsenal?
Nah, you know what? Listen, nah, I don't see it. I think the one positive I can take away from the Man City game is the way that we defended. And if we defend like that against Nottingham Forest, I think that we're going to get all 3 points. I know going forward right now, we're not looking as fluid as we do when we got Jesus, but defensively, I think we're looking, quite solid. That's what that game showed me anyway. And I think it's enough for us to get the points against Nottingham Forest. I mean, they got our knee. That's their biggest goal threat. I mean, if defensively, Gabriel at the back doesn't do the bozo gene and do something stupid, I see us getting the 3 points. Who's it harder to defend against? Awani or Haaland, So as much as I criticize this team, I will give props where props is due. And the way we defended against Man City, I think showed that, defensively, we are decent and we're more than capable enough to deal with Nottingham Forest's attack.
Okay, we've got another question here from Jason. It says, why do you think Arteta won't get rid of Rob Holding? I don't know. Maybe he's getting tips from him. So when he starts losing his hair, he can find out how to get the hairline back quick. Maybe he wants that quick pass to Turkey. I don't know. I don't know what Rob Holding has got on the manager. I don't know why he's still here. Maybe you can shed some light, Northside. I ain't got a clue.
Well, have we heard anything? Have we heard anything about Rob Holding being moved on? We've heard about Partey being moved on. We've heard about Balogun being moved on. We've heard about other players being moved on, but we haven't heard anything about Rob Holding being moved on. So, I mean, we're not seeing any reports around it. Obviously Rob Holding, he doesn't kick up a fuss. He doesn't. He's happy to be on the bench, and I think Arteta at times likes players like that. So I don't really see it. I have not heard anything about Rob Holding being moved on, and that's why I don't think he wants to move him on, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely. Arsenal since 1987 says Brandon Northside, big up, can't stay, on my way out for a few birthday drinks. Happy birthday, mate. Hope you have a good one. Don't get too drunk, though. Whatever you do. That hangover in the morning. It's not good. It's not good. We've got another comment here. It says Tierney should be sold, in my opinion. His technical level isn't high enough to play in this system. He's behind Timber, Zinchenko, Tomiyasu, and probably Kivior at left back. What do you think?
Bro, what did you take today, lad? Did you have breakfast? I don't know what you're talking about, bro. His level's above Tomiyasu. He's okay, Timber, yeah, that's going to be competition. But like I said, we need rotation, no? We had a light squad last season. So whichever one you want to pick is up for debate. But ultimately, yeah, you need 2 quality players in every position. Then you're looking at Kivior. Bro, that guy's shocking, bro. I don't rate that guy. I've not seen anything from that guy that I rate. Yeah. And then you talk about Zinchenko. You're talking about, Tini's technically not good enough. Well, he's a defender. And in terms of defending, his level's above Zinchenko. So I don't understand how you're putting Zinchenko above him when Zinchenko's playing as a defender and his weakest attribute is defending. I don't get that one.
Yeah. I'm with you on that one. So, right, let's start. Let's start first. Before we go into starting lineup, score predictions, and all of that for Nottingham Forest, I want to get number one. Who's winning the league this season, offside?
Man City.
Who's your top 4?
It's kind of hard because the transfer window isn't closed. As it stands, off the top of my head, I'd put Man City. Who would I put next up to that? Man City. It's hard, bro. Because if we don't get another striker, I don't see us repeating last season. I think second, I would put in second place. You know what? F it. I'm just gonna go off the top of my head. Man City, Liverpool, Man United, Newcastle. No, sorry, Man United, Chelsea, Arsenal. I think we're finishing 5th or 4th this season.
4th or 5th?
Yep.
Jeez. Okay. Well, we're going to see, guys. We're going to see. Yeah, I mean,
do you want me to tell you?
What's your reasonings behind it, though, Northside? Like, I mean, we spent £240 million, bro.
All right, cool. We still got the when you look at the bench is exactly the same. There is no change to that bench. The only change to that bench is what? Trossard, if Martinelli starts. Yeah. Then you look at the midfield. Are you confident going in with Fabio Vieira? Because I'm not. Are you confident with El Nene being rotation for Partey if Declan Rice is starting next to him? I'm not. Are you confident with Nketiah going up front? I'm not. Then Saka, we still don't have rotation for Saka. Who else? Declan Rice, if he gets injured, who are we playing there? Yeah, you can go with ESR. ESR's not proven. He's got talent. He ain't proven, is he? And ultimately, this manager, I think he's going to get sussed out this season. He's going to get sussed out. In pre-season, yeah, and this is what's crazy, yeah? In pre-season, yeah, have we seen versatility from this manager tactically? Have we seen the squad being, the light bench being addressed? No, we still don't have we don't have a world-class striker. We don't have another right winger that's world-class that can rotate with Saka. The midfield is still really poor. Yes, we brought in Declan Rice. He was a straight replacement for Xhaka. That means that the bench for the midfield and the bench stays the same. Then you have Odegaard. He goes missing in the big games. Yeah, he ain't that great. And he went missing against City. Yeah. Then you're looking in the defensive areas. Timber, we're going to see where he's going to be rotated. Can play centre back, can play left back, can play right back, but he can only play one position at a time. So if we have an injury to a centre back and a right back, or a centre back and a left back, who are you going to play? Because Zinchenko is going to cost us goals. And ultimately, every season, every year that you're in the league, yeah, your system gets sussed out. That's why Pep's always had to change his system. Klopp's also had to adapt. Klopp's going out there and got Darwin Núñez. Whether that's gonna work or not, we get to see. We're going with a strike force of we've got Havertz that is trash, and then we've got Jesus that's out. We've got Nketiah, and then we've got Balogun. Is that good enough? Plus, everybody's now used to the way that we're playing. Anyone really think that we're going to do anything? And even if my prediction is wrong, let's say we don't get 4th or 5th and we get 3rd, what's the difference? Or if we get 2nd again, what's the difference? That's not progression. We're not going to win. And ultimately, what does it mean? Oh, because we're going to get Champions League. That's not progression. This is what phase 4. Every phase is supposed to improve, no? That's what we hear. Every year they're getting better and stronger. We've seen no versatility from this manager. We've seen no change of tactics. We have no one off the bench that offers something different to the starting lineup players. They're either like for like or they're levels below. And we've not addressed a lot of areas that are still key. And the bench is still light. Why am I going to get gassed? Why? Chelsea have got stronger. And now they've got Pochettino, a manager that's, have you seen? I heard they have not lost a game in pre-season. Man United are going to keep improving. And they've bought a couple of players. Newcastle keep improving and buying players. Liverpool have gone out there and done good business. Yeah, yes, they need more, but they've improved. So these men ain't standing still. And City have gone and strengthened that defense that won them the treble. So at the end of the day, we ain't improved that much. We really haven't, if at all, really and truly. Tell me, is the bench any different? Enlighten me.
I mean, to be fair, like, I disagree.
The last little thing I wanted to, it just come to my head. This manager can no longer, remember, we got into that position last season, yeah, because we threw away Carabao, threw away FA Cup, threw away Europa, and we concentrated on the league. We had to solely focus on the Premier League to get 2nd. Deep that. This season, He's not allowed to throw away the Carabao. He's not allowed to throw away the FA Cup. And he 100% cannot throw away the Champions League. He can't. He has to at least compete for Champions League and Premier League. Now, when I've told you that this bench has not been improved, do you see us not burning out? Because last season, we could play our strongest lineup every week. We don't have that luxury this season. And we didn't win the league last season. Can you do it? I don't see it, bro. I don't see it.
I'm in agreement with you. I don't think we will win the league. I think City will win the league again. The only I kind of agree with some of your points, but I don't think we'll be as bad as finishing 4th or 5th. I do think we'll be 2nd again this season, because I look at Man United, right? Man United have improved on what they had last season, but we don't really know what Højlund's going to do in the Premier League. I think Onana, he's a better goalkeeper in terms of modern day goalkeeper than David De Gea, for sure, no doubt. It's looking like they're going to try and bring in another midfielder as well, Man United. But the only area where I think Man United will struggle is in attack. Liverpool, I mean, I'd like to say that I think they could probably maybe do something this season, but I don't think they will, because they've changed pretty much all of their midfield. And I just don't see how you're going to have the cohesion in the midfield when you've got 3 brand new players coming in that have never played together, playing in that midfield. Newcastle, I think, will have a little bit of a drop-off, purely and simply because they're playing Champions League football as well during the week, and I don't think they've got the squad to cope with playing Champions League and the Premier League. Chelsea, I mean, we're going to get onto dark horses in the moment, but for me, Chelsea are probably maybe the dark horse for me, because I just think, again, I'm not too sure whether they've got enough in terms of their, I mean, it's their midfield defensive area that I kind of think about Chelsea. I think Spurs, I mean, people are going to hate me for saying this, but I think Spurs could even be a dark horse for the top 4 if they can keep hold of Harry Kane. And if they can keep hold of Harry Kane, there's every possibility that Tottenham could get in the top 4. But yeah, I mean, apart from that, I mean, you got Villa. Villa could maybe do something with Unai Emery. He's spent a fair bit of money. He's brought in Pau Torres and a few other men as well. I think Villa will be very good this season. But yeah, I just think by default, more than anything else, Northside, I think we will be the 2nd best team in the league again this season, because I don't see any of them teams doing any better than us, to be honest with you, at the moment. So that's my thoughts and my reasonings on it. Of course, you know, you're right. Mikel Arteta has to prove himself this season. Mikel Arteta has to show.
I think he's going to drop down, Brendan, man. I think he's going to drop down. And ultimately, in the chat, when people are like, rah, like, how can you say that? At the end of the day, yeah, for me, I look 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, down, all the way down to 6th, 8th, or whatever. It's all the same thing. You didn't win the league. And ultimately, I just don't see us replicating what we did last season when we've got more competitions that we've got to take seriously now. I don't see it, because I'm not seeing this. I've not seen us reinforce enough on the bench to suggest that. And that is why, for me, we've not seen this manager been able to compete in multiple competitions. You know, we've seen Ten Hag be able to take his club, the first year, take him to 2 cup finals. We've not seen that from Arteta. Do you know what I'm saying? And yes, 2nd isn't the worst thing in the world, but ultimately you have to bottle everything to get there. And everybody else is going to be improving. It's going to be thereabouts. Like, for me, as long as if he doesn't win the league, for me, it's just not good enough, man. You know what I mean? It's just not good enough. Like, ultimately, I don't feel like we're going to replicate what we did last season. I really don't, bro. I really don't. And we'll see. We will see. We will see. If he doesn't, I want him sacked.
It's certainly going to be interesting. Who's your dark horse for the season? Because there's always a team that comes out of nowhere and you don't expect them to do well. Newcastle was probably the dark horse last season. You know, nobody expected them to really finish in that Champions League after they finished. Well, they was 19th when Eddie Howe took over. So who's your dark horse for this season?
What to get into the top four?
Well, it just like who do you think will do really well, but people won't expect to do well? Like it doesn't even have to be like into the top four, fifth. It could even be a team that you expect to go down, but ends up finishing higher than what you think, kind of thing.
I definitely think Aston Villa. I think that was a good shout. I think Aston Villa, they're doing good business. Unai Emery seems like he's getting backed. He did a very good job last season. I think they'll kick on. I think they'll compete to get into the top four, but I think they may get into the top six, and I think for them that's really good. Do you know what I mean? I reckon that they will get into at least Europa League spots. But yeah, those are the ones that look like dark horses. Obviously, we'll see, innit? Because at the end of the day, until the transfer window is closed, I'm not really set on where I place everyone. All I know is that Arsenal are not winning the league this season. That's all I'm saying. And for me, finishing second again is still a sackable offence. Chelsea, we're yet to see what Poch is going to do, but they've had a very good preseason. Man United, we're still waiting if they're going to get taken over. Newcastle, we're going to see if they're going to do any more business. Eddie Howe's done great with them. We're going to see if they can kick on and get some more players in. So they're still up for the debate. Arsenal may go out there and get a world-class striker. We may. And then my prediction may change. But ultimately, as it stands, it's thereabouts, roughly what I think. I just don't really think it's going to be that great. And yeah, I just don't really care what place. All I know is that I think those clubs are going to be in the top four, and ultimately, no one's going to win it, barring City, because I'm not seeing it from the other clubs. Like you said, there's holes in Man United, there's holes at Arsenal, and there's holes in Liverpool. So ultimately, no matter how you want to slice it, they're not going to win the league because they're not done enough yet in the transfer window for us to be, saying, yeah, I can see you, pushing Man City the whole way.
Okay, my dark horse of the season is Burnley, believe it or not. Burnley with Vincent Kompany.
Are you going with Kompany, yeah?
Yeah, Burnley with Vincent Kompany, the style of football that they play, I think they'll cause a lot of teams problems this season. Very attacking. I think you'll actually see Burnley break into the top 10. I think Burnley will finish in the top half of the table this season, which would be a very, very good season for Burnley, by the way. So that's my prediction as dark horse. Who's your three teams to be relegated?
Luton, Nottingham Forest. Who else? Give me some teams.
You got Everton, Bournemouth.
Everton.
I'm
like Everton. Everton's down there. Everton, Nottingham Forest, and Luton.
Okay. I'm going to go Luton, Forest.
Wolves is a good shout.
Bournemouth,
yeah. Okay.
Wolves have just got Gary O'Neill as their manager. And Gary O'Neill was the one who kept Bournemouth up last season. Oh, Sheffield United. Yeah, I forgot about Sheffield United. Jesus. Do you reckon Sheffield United will stay up?
I don't know, man. I think they can just about keep up. I think Wolves are a great shout. Everton are a great shout. I think Luton are a great shout. Luton are definitely down there.
Oh, Luton. I'll be shocked if Luton stay in the league. I really will be shocked if Luton stay in the league. People are saying man, Burnley.
It's hard, man. There's a lot of teams that are looking really ropey. I don't know. It's kind of hard. I think Luton definitely going down. I think Wolves are definitely in a position to be going down. Everton are definitely in a position to be going down.
So let's reel off some teams. Hang on. Let me see what other teams there are. So we got Bournemouth, Brentford. Remember, they ain't got Ivan Toney till January. I think Brighton will stay. You got Burnley.
Brentford will stay up.
Crystal Palace.
Nah, Palace will stay up.
Everton, Fulham.
Nah, Fulham all right. Everton, I reckon they can go down, man. They're long overdue going down, to be honest.
Tottenham.
If there's a God. Nah, actually, I want them in the league because I always want to smoke them. So I don't want them to go down.
Yeah, to be fair, if I had to hazard a guess now, I think I mean, people are saying in the chat maybe West Ham because it's looking like they might lose Paqueta to Manchester City. They've already lost Declan Rice.
Yeah, they haven't brought in really many signs. This is the thing, though. Like, there's a case for all these teams. Like, Bournemouth recruitment ain't that great. Luton, they haven't got much money. First year in the Prem. Then you're looking at who else? Who else is there? Wolves. They've lost Neves.
Yeah, so you've got Bournemouth. You've got possibly Burnley in there. You've got Everton. You've got
where are they, man? I don't know. It's kind of
you've got Luton. You've got Forest. You've got Sheffield United. You've got West Ham and Wolves. For me, like they're the ones that I think will struggle this season. Them ones, but it'd be interesting.
It's hard, Brandon, because the transfer window isn't closed, so we don't know what these teams are going to be like. Do you know what I mean? This kind of me really saying a prediction. I can only stick to a prediction until the transfer window is closed, and I can be like, right, cool, that's the squads they're going with. They're not really going to do much in January. That's, these are the teams I truly believe are going to go down. But it is what it is, man.
Who do you think will be the most surprising player of the season? Like last season, for example, Almiron was very, very good at Newcastle. Nobody expected him to kind of be very good for the period of time that he was. Like, who do you think is going to surprise everyone this season? Doesn't necessarily have to be an Arsenal, a City, a Man United, whoever. It could be any team.
It's kind of hard. Like, who's going to be surprising? That's a hard one. I would say, if given the minutes, I think Balogun, I really rate that kid. I think
Really?
Balogun, if he's given the minutes, I think he can bring a lot of that form from last season on loan to the Premier League. Yeah, other than that, I'm kind of struggling for who I think is going to be surprising.
Yeah, let me have a look. Let me think.
Yeah.
I mean, Luton have just signed Ross Barkley on a free transfer.
No.
Who am I going to go as the most surprising player of the season? I'm going to go with Evan Ferguson at Brighton. I think he'll get a lot of goals this season.
Yeah.
I think he'll be up there. So that's what I'm going to go with there. Who do you think will get the most clean sheets this season?
The most clean sheets. That's a tough one.
You see this comment here, look. And Ketty may surprise many.
Oh my god. Who's going to get the most clean sheets? Kind of depends how managers are going to set up and their teams. I don't really know. I actually don't know.
I think it's obvious. I think it's obvious who's going to get the most clean sheets this season. I think it'll be Ederson at Manchester City. I don't see how people are going to
but that's easy to go with. I'm talking about beside them. Obviously, come on, man. They just won the treble with that defense, of course.
Oh, okay. If you're not including Ederson,
yeah, not including them, man. That's easy.
I'm going to go with.
It's a tough one.
I'm going to go with. I
might go with Aston Villa. I think. Yeah, I think Unai Emery is going to start trying to hit people on the break. I don't think he's going to play all this expansive football. When you look at Poch, I think he's going to play expansive football. When you look at Klopp, he's going to play expansive football. Even the Tottenham manager, he plays attacking football. That's going to leak goals when you're talking about clean sheets.
I think Man United will leak goals as well. Onana's like, he's crazy, mate.
Even teams like Brentford and Brighton, a lot of these teams that are not yet breaking into the top six, they all play expansive football.
What about Liverpool?
Football. They're not playing like Stoke anymore. You know what I mean? Luton are going to get hammered. Everton are going to get hammered. Sheffield Wednesday, they're going to get hammered at certain times. Yes, they'll pick up points, but they're going to get hammered. Like Liverpool, if they don't fix their defensive issues.
Ramsdale?
Nah, man. I don't know. I don't know.
Or Raya? Ramsdale or Raya?
To be honest, yeah. Wagner's actually got a good point. Man United don't play expansive football. Yeah, that's a good shout. Maybe Man United. Yeah, Man United or Aston Villa, because they play more on the break. I feel like they're going to be playing more on the break. They're not going to open up like that. They're going to hit you on the break. Sit back, hit you on the break.
You say that Onana's a madman, mate. He'll be in midfield next to Casemiro. That guy. Do you know what I mean? Like, it'd be like it's going to be mad. Nick Pope. That is a shout. Nick Pope at Newcastle, because their defense last season was very, very good. That is a good shout, my bro. Yeah, Nick Pope at Newcastle. I didn't think of that one. That'd be a very good shout, actually. Right, so starting 11 for Nottingham Forest on Saturday. Go for it.
Trossard playing striker, Martinelli on the left, Saka on the right, Odegaard playing as a 10, Partey and Declan Rice in the middle, Timber on the left, Ben White on the right, and then in the middle, Saliba and Gabriel. And if Raya's not over the line yet, play Ramsdale. If not, play Raya. I mean, it's Nottingham Forest. You should be able to deal with them. If he's not, if everything ain't gone through yet, play Ramsdale. If everything's gone through and he's our player before then play Raya. I want to see how good he plays and keep Ramsdale on his toes.
Okay, I'm pretty much in complete agreement with that starting lineup, by the way. The only thing that I would say, somebody pointed this out in the comment section. I can't remember who it was, right? But this was on the stream that I did the other day. And he said to me, maybe Arteta keeps Trossard on the bench because he's more impactful. Like, off the bench, you've got somebody there that scares teams coming off the bench. Whereas if you play Trossard from the beginning of the game, and you need to change the game up a little bit, you're not exactly scared of Havertz coming off the bench. You're not exactly scared of Nketiah coming off the bench and, all these men here. Do you kind of agree with that a little bit?
What's that?
The reason why Arteta doesn't play Trossard is because then he's got somebody who's more like scares defenses more coming off the bench. Whereas if you played Trossard from the get-go, and then you had Havertz coming off the bench, it doesn't really scare the life out of teams.
It's a gamble, isn't it? It's a gamble. Because when you look at the Man City game, yeah, we could have lost that. He scored in in extra time. And we had, 8 minutes extra time? So it's a gamble. At the end of the day, if you would have started him, maybe would have been, 1 up, 2-0 up, and the game is completely different. When the season starts, we're not going to penalties, so you're not gonna win going in a penalty shootout. You got to win in 90 minutes. And for me, you go for the better player and the more informed player. And for me, that is Trossard. Someone said, why would you play Raya straight away? That's ridiculous. Well, why is it ridiculous? When we got Zinchenko and Jesus, we played them right away as soon as we got them. Raya's not coming from abroad. He's Premier League proven. He knows how to play. Plus, he's a goalkeeper. It's not like he's an outfield player where he needs to get used to the way that we play. You know what I mean? It's quite simple. You can go straight into goal and you can perform. He's good enough, which is why we're going for him and why I'm happy with the signing. Why is it so crazy to put him in? It's against Nottingham Forest. you know. So put him straight in. Let's see what he's about. Listen, if he can't handle Nottingham Forest, why the hell are we getting him? And why are a lot of people saying that he's better than Ramsdale when a lot of people are kind of showing their true feelings about Ramsdale and bigging up Raya if Raya's not good enough to play against Nottingham Forest? Makes no sense.
It's true, it's true. Arsenal since 1987 says, Brandon, here's a theory. Arteta doesn't like Tierney because Tierney played for Celtic and Arteta played for Rangers. I don't think it's that deep, bro. I mean, when Arteta played for Rangers, Tierney was probably still floating around in his dad's ball bag. Do you know what I mean? So I don't think it's a case of because he played for Celtic or anything like that. But no, I mean, it'd be strange if that was the case. It'd be strange if that was the case. What else? Because Ramsdale deserved to start like Leno did and then assess it. Okay. So yeah, right. So we got our starting lineups for, I say, start Trossard as false 9, Havertz hold the bench 100%. So yeah, we got our starting lineup for Saturday's game. Score prediction, North side. What we saying?
3-1 Arsenal.
Ooh, you going 3-1? You don't think we'll keep a clean sheet, no?
Nah, start of the season. We're definitely going to get the 3 points. I definitely still feel like Nottingham Forest, I don't feel like is the game that we're going to feel the effect of Jesus not being there. I still feel like we'll score goals. But yeah, we may concede a sloppy one. But yeah, I think 3-1. Yeah, 3-1 I think is fair.
Okay. Guys, get your score predictions in the comments section. I'm going to go with, it's at the Emirates, opening day fixture. I think it very much depends on the starting lineup, you know. I think if he decides to play Havertz in the 9, then I don't think we'll score as many goals as what we potentially could. I'm going to go 4-0 Arsenal.
So why were you, the way you said 3-1, I thought you was going to say, you know what, 2-0 or something.
Nah, I think we'll score more. If Arteta picks the right lineup, I think we'll score more. And just the way that we defended, again, if he picks the defence that played against Man City, I don't see Nottingham Forest scoring a goal. I genuinely don't. But if Zinchenko's back in there, I mean, this is why it's kind of hard, because if Zinchenko's back in there, I think we'll do better going forward, but defensively we may concede. But yeah, I think anything less than a three goals for Arsenal would be a disaster, really. You know, we're expected to beat Nottingham Forest. If we drop points in this game, Northside, oh my word, there is going to be hell to pay. Like, I'm not being funny, but this is a standard win. At home to Nottingham Forest, this is a standard win if you want to even think about winning the league title. So, you know, that's how I feel on it. What are some of the guys in the chat saying? Steve's only going for a 1-0 Arsenal win. Interesting, Steve. You don't think we'll score that many goals? We need to start keeping clean sheets at home. 3-0 Arsenal. Scott's also gone with 3-0 Arsenal. Ooh, Wagner's gone just and only just 3-2. See, there's not a lot of people that are confident about this. Brandon Arteta needs to know and understand how to utilise players to their strengths and how to switch up the style of play. Also learn more about the man management to players and game management. Cool. That's true. It's by bros, Brandon and Northside. Big up yourself, Taib. Listen, guys, on that note, of course, Arsenal will be playing Nottingham Forest on Saturday. I will be back with my match reactions. Northside, are you doing match reactions and that after the game? You're on mute, my friend.
Yeah. Once again, definitely match reactions. Always do match reactions after the game. But before that, I'm dropping a video on Thursday, tomorrow. So yeah, Yeah, man, all good, man.
Make sure you lot go over and check out Northside's channel if you're not subscribed already. Yeah, I mean, I wanted to have a chat with you after the stream anyway, just to see if you fancy doing something on here. So you might see a bit more of Northside guys as well. I've got a few things lined up, as you well know. And yeah, I will be back with my match reaction on Saturday. Peace. We're out of it.
We're out.